Okay, it's week 5. We're almost ready to play league tennis. So tonight is game night on every court. Court 1, we're going to start off with a game of Around the World. That will be explained to you when you get in, okay? So don't worry about that. We'll explain that to you when you get in. Court 2, we're going to do some singles points with rallying, and we call that Davis Cup, where you're it's 2 teams versus each other. We're going to explain that. What we're going to concentrate on right now, though, is a little bit of how to play doubles and court positioning. Okay, so what I'm going to show you today is just simply where to be standing, the appropriate spots of where to be standing when you're playing doubles and what you're going to be responsible for. Okay, so first we're going to talk about when you're serving and where you need to stand and where your partner should be. So Betty is going to be playing the net, and I'm going to be serving. You'll see where Betty's going to go, and you'll see where I'm going to go. We'll see you real quickly. We'll be right back. So we can set. Okay, so doubles. I'm serving. Betty's my partner. Notice where she is. She's going to be at the net. So also when I'm playing here, if I were to serve singles, I would stand all the way here because I've got to cover both parts of the court here. Now I'm playing doubles, and Betty's my partner, so she's going to be responsible for the net and kind of that side. I'm responsible now kind of from here to over here, so I stand somewhere in the middle. So this is where I like to stand when I serve. So I'm out wide on the serve. Betty's at the net, and when I serve it in, you see we start playing the point. Notice how Betty moved forward, and anything that were to come to her at the net, she's going to volley the ball in the air, and then I have a choice. In doubles, lots of times people like to do what's called a serve and volley, where they run to the net and then take the ball out of the air, or become even more and more popular on the on both the men's and the women's tour in doubles, is to serve and then stay back and rally. So she'd be up at the net for anything that came to her, and I would be back here hitting ground strokes. So you'll see what you feel more comfortable with. If you are, you'll find out in these 9 weeks if you're going to be a net rusher or you like to stay back and grind it out from the baseline. So that's the position of when we are serving, okay? And let me just walk you through this because it took a couple of us, we did some beginner classes, and it took some time to get in this rhythm of switching sides. So watch this. I'm going to come here and I'm going to serve. And then let's say we play out this point, and the point is over. What happens after that is Betty's going to go to the other side for the next point, and I come over here. And then we play another, and then we play this point. Ooh, I get a second serve. And then we play this point, we play it out, and then the next point, I come back over here and Betty switches. I know in the beginning sometimes getting in that rhythm of switching back and forth gets confusing, but that's how you want to do when you're doing the serving side. We'll be right back with the returns. Okay, so now Betty and I are returning. Okay, so we're playing against 2 ghosts over there. There's no one over there, but imagine there's people we're playing against and a serve came in. What happens is usually the returner is going to be back, getting ready to return the serve, and then notice Betty is playing the net, but she's a little further back. Why is she further back? In case I hit a stinky return, Betty wants to have a fighting chance to get the ball back. Like let's say I hit a really bad return. One thing I might even say, if I hit a bad return, and I'll go short, and then Betty would start retreating back to the baseline, and then we may both become baseline players. Now Betty gets back up there, and I hit a good return. I split step, I hit a good return, and Betty sees that person struggling over there. Notice how she's getting closer to the net so she can get in the offensive position. So that's why she's going to start kind of back and then either move her way up or move her way back, where when I was serving, she was right on top of the net because she knew I had the first strike and she would probably be ready for the ball. So that's the biggest difference in the positioning on the court with the serving versus the returns. And then here's the rhythm of how it goes. So we play our first point, I hit the return, we play the point out, point's over. Now what happens is Betty goes back and returns her side, and now I come in this position. And then we play another point, play it out, boom, we play out the point, boom, we win the point. We give each other a high five because we're so good. And then I'm going to come back here and return, and Betty's going to play the net. Okay, so that's enough information. You're just going to have to struggle through the rest, but the more you play doubles, there's a lot to doubles. There's complete art to doubles, but the more you play, you're going to pick up little tips here and there. Because we're going to have you out on our courts for a long time, right? You've made it through Tennis 101 as far as every week we've learned a new drill. We've learned forehands, backhands, serves, returns, how to play points. Next week, it's big time. It's league match, so good luck. And I'll also be available at 6:30. Your league is going to start at 7:30. I'll be available at 6:30 to 7:30 for a practice and a warm-up. If you're kind of intimidated to go out there and play your league match, you can come an hour beforehand and take a class with me if you choose to. That's optional. Okay, thanks so much, and good luck next week in your first match.